All right, we're recording. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the first official call. We're combining two teams. And I know not all teams are here right now, but I'm excited to share with you tonight a little collaboration. And I myself, my name is Carly Sabev. For those of you who don't know me and are watching maybe the replay, I am the founder of Team PushPlayItForward. And I decided to ask my wonderful accountability partner this year. It kind of fell in our lap, but Courtney and I, which some of you may know, may not know, started doing the reset together with Amy, who's actually on this call. And then we continued and we've done core to force, but Courtney and I have always kind of been like soul sisters. Like, we both love the South. We swear a lot. We're both blonde and freaking awesome. And we worked in the bar business. I mean, the list goes on. So anyways, Courtney and I connect very well. We've always chatted ever since she started the business. I think I've been around a little bit longer than her. I've been a coach for 2.5 years, so I can get more into that, almost 3 now. And we are tonight collaborating with, so Push Play It Forward meets The Living Proof. The Living Proof. I'm pointing at you right now. I don't know where you're sitting in my screen, but I'm super excited. Courtney is amazing. She's going to introduce herself. She's probably one of the most positive people that you're ever going to encounter. Honestly, really. And her signature word is YOLO, and she means it when she says it. She's got a lot to share. And if you aren't following her now, I would highly recommend it. And if you aren't following me, of course, go ahead and follow me too. And we can introduce some members of the team. So tonight we are going to share some good stuff with you guys. We were talking and we were both we're both diamonds. So we're like, what does our team need right now? And what do we need more than that? Because, we've been in this business a while and we do hit slumps, right? So we were talking about consistency, and relationships with people, because this is a relationship business. And one thing that makes you thrive is consistency. So what better way to collaborate and talk about both, maybe from a different perspective. So you guys hear, a lot of you that are on my team, you hear me talk your ear off about certain things. Now you can have somebody else say it who's cooler than me. So, we'll just go with that. But I wanted to introduce Courtney Anderson to you guys, and she's going to introduce herself, and then she's going to talk a little bit more about how she works her magic with her people. Sound good? Cool. Courtney, welcome, and take it away.
Well, thank you, Carly. Thank you for that introduction. So my name's Courtney Anderson. I'm just kind of going to tell you how I got into the business and kind of where I'm at now. I had to get wedding prep ready. And for months upon months, I watched the infomercial of the 21-day fix. It's like, that looks like it's easy. I finally bought the program. I had a coworker when I was working in the medical field. I went into work the following day and I was like, Anna, I ordered the 21-day fix. Did you get yours? She was like, no, I did not. I was like, okay. She's like, but I know this girl on my Facebook who runs these groups. And I was like, okay, well, can you link me up? I don't know what you're talking about, but link me up with this girl who's done the 21-day fix before. And she linked me to Lindsay Gray. Didn't know. So I reached out to Lindsay. I was like, oh, my coworker says you run groups. Me and Lindsay start talking. She's like, I have a group coming up in a couple weeks. I was like, well, I got to start now. She's like, all right, I was like, I have to start a week prior to your group starting. She's like, that's fine. Go ahead. Blah, blah, blah. A couple days into the 21-day fix, I was like, what's this Shakeology that they keep talking about, So then I asked Lindsay, I was like, Lindsay, what's the Shakeology they're talking about? So then, of course, Lindsay tells me all about it. I was like, all right, I'll try it. And so then I tried that. And I think about 2 weeks into my journey, I was like, Lindsay, what exactly do you do? So then she told me about the coaching opportunity. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So where do I sign up? By that time in my first round, I was already seeing results. I was feeling good. I was like, this is totally a lifestyle. This isn't a diet. And I loved everything about it. The one thing I knew it was meant to be was because I was so miserable in my day job for so many years in the medical field. And prior to that, I started getting into personal development a little bit. I read The Secret, and that book kind of changed it around for me. And it was so funny on how 6 months prior to the 21-day fix, I read this book. I'm thinking to myself, what am I going to do? Like, I'm not going to be stuck in this job for the rest of my life. I hate it. When Matt and I have children, I don't want to make $13 an hour to $13 an hour, 40 hours a week to pay for daycare. Who's going to watch your kids? That's ridiculous. That's the kind of stuff that was running through my mind. So I jumped into coaching from the get. I have put myself out there completely. I remember sharing those first results with my Facebook world, and Lindsay Gray was like, you got to share them. I was like, all right. I shared them. I threw the phone and hopped into my bed and hid in my bed until I was able to get up like 25 minutes later and see what was happening on my notifications. So ever since that, it was kind of full steam ahead, because I started that in the end of May of 2015. I started that after Memorial Day. So I think it was like the second or third week of June, I was already done with my first round. By the time July rolled around, I was like, I want to do this like full time. So I quit my full-time job, and then I just went to waiting tables and bartending 3 to 4 days a week. So I'm so happy that I was able to leave that job. I'm almost at the income that I was making doing that. When the day comes, and Carly had her celebration with that. Like, when that day comes where I finally make it what I was making at that office job for the month's pay, I might pass out. I don't know what I'll do. It's just one of those things where it's like, that's what I've been trying to get at. So from the get, that's just a little bit of my story on how I became a coach. What I did, though, want to talk to you guys about was the connections you need to keep with your challengers. That I think a lot of people, this is where it gets lost. So in my challenge groups, when I first started off, I was in Lindsay's challenge group, and then I went completely on my own, because I'm just the type of person who will, I won't even read instructions. I'll just do it until I have to go to read instructions. I just do it on my own. So I ran my own challenge group for the first time. I added my friends in who were not doing the program after I blasted those first results. You guys, I didn't even know what Success Club was, because after my first results in my market already, I had people who were like, well, what are you doing? So when Lindsay blasted the Success Club board, I was like, what is this? I don't get it yet, because I just did it on my own, So I started learning more about what that was. But going into my first challenge group, I invited friends in to be my crowd hypers. And I was like, you guys, I don't care you're not doing this, but you guys are all into working out, the friends who were. I had another girlfriend who did the 21-day fix before. So I was like, well, will you just join this group and just kind of, let's just boost the motivation. So her and a couple others helped me. And I kept carrying them on and on and on each month that I did the challenge group. So they were my crowd hypers. The challengers that did buy something from me, I really nurtured that relationship. Before the 21-day app, because I think they just came out with that 21-day app within the past year. I don't think it's been around for a very long time. So when I was doing my 21-day fix, I had a tally sheet that I printed off of Pinterest where I tracked all of my food. So what I did also too, it wasn't until recently that they put the labels of the fruits, veggies, all of that they added that into the 21-day package for the containers. So I'm kind of an organized freak, And when I got my 21-day containers, I went and got a label maker and labeled my own containers. So then I was like, okay, so for my challengers who do this, I'm going to send them out these tally sheets and these labels and like a little card that is like, thank you for your purchase. These helped me to keep track of my food. Hope you whatever. XOXO, Courtney. And YOLO it up. So I started that off kind of right in building that relationship with them. And then what I learned, what that is called, besides being a good human being, it's called in this world emotional deposits. And I did not learn this until I listened to a webinar from Darren Hardy, and he talked about these emotional deposits. And I was like, oh, that's a effing incredible. I'll try not to swear on this. That is genius. So each week, I know that we have the group, you have the challenge group, but I was noticing that some people were not being active on it. And I was like, okay, this is weird, because when I did the consultation too, I was like, what are your goals and all of that stuff? I went through it with them. And so I saw that they were a little quiet. So then I started to check in with them one-on-one, one time a week. I picked a day, and I was like, this is when I'm going to check in with them privately, because if there's something bothering them, that they're not going to share it on the group, which I think 60% of the time, and this is what I'm going to say about me, I'm a very open person, very, very, very open. And not a lot of people are like that, so I understood it. I can understand that people aren't an open book. So I respect their privacy, and that's also too why I took to a private message, just to check in and be like, what's your struggles this week? What's your strengths? What do you need help with? And I listened to what they said. If they needed help with food prep, I made it more visible on the accountability groups of like, let me show you food prep, or you need a meal plan, or you just need daily support and motivation. Let me put up, positive memes, whatever all of those challengers were saying, I listened and somehow incorporated it publicly on that group without like calling anybody out, but I still answered them privately. So each week I did that. And what that did too was just build the relationship between me and that person. I also let people in the group for free who bought stuff before, who didn't, and eventually, and I still treated them like they were a paying customer. I still checked in with them once a week just to be like, hey, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. ABC. Great. And when it came time and when it was financially ready for them, they're like, okay, I'm going to get the 21-day fix now. Or, okay, I have the 21-day fix. I'm ready to try this Shakeology. Because I kept building the relationships and trust. I will tell you this. I have been in the service industry for many years. I've been in customer service all of my life. Not all of my life, but when I started working. And I was like 16 and up. And I just learned so well with, you really have to give the customer, the challenger, your friend, the whole experience of yourself. This business is so intimate, and I'm going to give some examples, and Carly and I have talked about this before. This isn't like, this is like, hey, here's some mascara. Hey, here's some face lotion to try. Hey, here's some leggings to wear. This is you are helping a person transition their life into self-love. You are helping a person who might have gained weight to protect themselves for whatever evil has happened in their world. And I'm being serious. Like, I don't want to sound like super dramatic, but it's true. Like, every woman has a different story of their weight gain or why they got to the point that they are, because of whatever happened to them that brought them up to that point. So it is a very intimate relationship, and nothing makes me more mad when like you you purchase something off of someone else and then they don't even bother to check in to be like, so how's that going? How did that mascara make your eyelashes grow? Like, I'm being really serious, especially with the whole multi-level marketing. We have such a bad rep for people that do that it's just the sale and then it's done. And you can't with this. You just can't, because you're sharing your story, you're putting yourself out there, and then people are asking you what you did. So it's like you have to nurture that. It's like a little baby that you have to nurture, and you have to watch it grow and blossom. And people are putting their trust in you. And it's like your word. You're only as good as your word. Like, you just don't want to ruin that for yourself of being that person. So throughout this whole process with the nurturing of the relationships, I've had challengers who, this is an example of how I've kept relationships strong and generally cared about that person. I had a lady in June or July of 2015 buy the 21-day fix challenge pack. Loved her Shakeology, but had to stop drinking it after 2 months because she couldn't afford it. No problem. Offered the discount coaching. No, I can't do that right now. Okay, no problem. I kept her every month. Do you want to come into this group? Do you want to come into my next group? I've asked her every month if she wants to continue along just doing her 21-day fix. Sure. Well, guess who I just signed up to be a discount coach a couple days ago with an all-access challenge pack? Right. Boom. Because I never gave up on her. And that is the one thing she always said to me. She goes, thank you for not giving up on me when I've given up on myself so many times. And it's true. You have to be in that person's corner, because it's not something that's going to be, as Carl Deichler, it's like, it's a lifestyle. This isn't like, hey, buy this for 21 days and you're done. I mean, until a person starts like ignoring you and does not return your messages, like, I got it. Because that's happened to me. But I consistently, after a while, I stop until they reach back out to me. But so this woman just signed up with her all access for a discount coaching because she's like, I'm ready. I'm ready to do this. Those 2 rounds, I had such great success with it. I love these groups, and you were a great coach. You helped me A, B, and C. She's like, I'm ready. I'm like, okay, here we go. So it's stuff like that, plus 2 with nurturing those relationships. That's another opportunity too, to help you down the road with not only helping them, but another round of Success Club points. So this is like, I've had people buy a 21-day fix challenge pack, and then down the road within 6-7 months, you want to buy another 20. Are you ready to up it to another program? Because it's time for you. Okay, let's go into the 21-day fix extreme. Perfect. You want to get Shakeology with that? Perfect. No problem. So, I mean, I hope that kind of helps of what I've been, I don't want it to, because I really do care. I really, with all my heart, care about all of my challengers. Every couple months, we get outside of the virtual world, and for the people who live around us, we do these challenger parties where we meet up face to face. No BS. Like, this is real. We form these relationships. We love each other. We support each other. Let's go. I'm actually having my challenger party on this Sunday where we're going to Orange Theory. A couple months ago, we went and did a boxing class. So it's just like little stuff like that that's just added bonuses. My coaches now send thank you cards to their challengers. One of my coaches, she buys like little notepads for them, but she's like, this is what you did for me in the beginning. So I'm just taking from what you did and just putting my own spin on it. Like, she gave her I know she gets like little notepads from Target, like the dollar bin. I'm not saying you have to spend $1,000 here, but you can do like a little getting started right, like kind of gift bag and like with a little card that says thank you for the, thank you for the purchase. Can't wait for you to get started on your health and fitness journey. Whatever comes from you, something. But imagine if you got that from somebody. Wouldn't you be like, what? Thank you. This is great. Like, I feel appreciated, and I feel like this person is really in my corner and wants me to succeed in this. I'm not just a sale for this person. And I think that's where you have to really, you got to make people feel special, but mean it. Because I'm not saying this just like, well, yeah, I make people feel special. Like, you have to mean it. You have to mean making them feel good about themselves, because it's a journey, and that you are their coach. There is no, you get into this group and then bye. Like, you can't do that. You cannot leave people hanging. If they have questions, you got to answer it in your accountability group. If you don't have a Pinterest board set up with 21-day fix recipes, I strongly suggest you do that now. I've done that since the very beginning. I say to people in my challenge group, here's my 21-day fix board. Start following it, because I constantly update it. I constantly add Shakeology and new recipes. You don't have to search anything. You can just go on there and browse through. That has been a great tool to help them as much as possible. I'm trying to think what else. I'm sorry, Carly. Sometimes I just shoot from my hip,
I love it. I love it. So I understand.
Yeah, I just sometimes shoot from my hip. Like, sometimes I can't get prepared, because then I'm like, I'll never say that. So I hope you guys understand what I'm saying on this, though. But most of all, just love them and have fun. So this is what I do too. This is another fun one. I took on this. Last year I sent Christmas cards. This year, 2016, because I heard this on the Darren Hardy webinar that I had won for the Success Club 1 month. And it was the last 6 weeks of your business to set yourself up for the next year. And that's when the man said the emotional deposits. And he said he sends out, instead of Christmas cards, Thanksgiving cards. And I was like, oh, this is genius too. And he said, I send out the Thanksgiving cards because everybody gets Christmas cards. So if I'm going to look different, I'm going to stand out. Someone's going to be like, hey, Courtney, she sent us that Thanksgiving. I mean, who gets Thanksgiving cards? Nobody. So I was so excited for 2006. Like, I was so excited for Thanksgiving to come, because I was like, this is just like perfect. So I sent out Thanksgiving cards to all of my challengers, all of the people on my customer list. Not so much everyone's, well, yes, not so much the anyone who purchased something for me, except for the customer lead program. Some of those people I didn't send out, but all of my challengers, I sent out Thanksgiving card, and was just like with gratitude. And I wrote a little message from me in my own words, like, it's been a time sharing this journey with you this past year. I'm grateful for your friendship and the trust you have put into me to help you along the way. You guys, they loved it. And it was not easy. It took me an evening to do, but it was worth it, because it was me building more trust in these people to help them. And that's what's going to happen. And it also made me feel good by doing that, So that's a good one. The Christmas, everyone appreciate, like, get it with the Christmas, but around Thanksgiving, or like some type, or like even the New Year, to really step up your game in a sense of like, there's something else to do,
Love it. That's awesome. No, really, I don't remember that. I don't think I listened to that. I probably should have.
Well, I mean, that was really what caught me on that, where it's just like, oh, this is lovely.
Genius.
So, and when it comes to the coach-challenger relationship, remember that too. And this is something that is always said. I have had a lot of people switch over to me from other coaches because they were not getting the attention that they were receiving from me. That when I let them into the group, I knew they had another coach, but I just said, you can come into this, but eventually you'll have to switch over to me. They're like, no problem. And they all did, because they're like, I like this group better. It's more motivating. You give me more attention than this other one did. I've heard from another chick, she told me that her coach was all about making money and stopped talking to her. So it's like, that's sad. We don't know all the sides of the story, but just with that, it's just like, oh, okay, that's sad. So, but all of those people have switched over to me and set me up for success down the road. So, you guys have any questions? I don't know.
Love it. Oh my God, Courtney, that's awesome. I took like 1,000,000 notes.
Oh, good.
You guys, isn't she rad? Like, that's just Courtney. Like, that's how her personality is all of the time. Like, she just cares. Like, she sent me a gift card when I had a baby. And like, I've never met her. She'd get me a gift card to Target to get my kid diapers. Like, that's Courtney. And it's a great habit to adopt because it's so like personalized. My LuLaRoe girl, she does the same thing. I'm obsessed with her. I literally will not buy leggings from another human being in the planet because she does a lot of what Courtney does. So I'm good. I don't have any questions, but do you guys have any or thoughts or anything? I loved it.
I just thought it was just really good because for me, this, I don't know, Carly knows, I disappeared for a while, but there's something that changed this time once I like realized that I could just be myself and not have to be somebody else, and actually have a good relationship and not even bring up Beachbody. And then people are like, oh, well, I know you're waking up early, or I know that you started working out again. What are you doing? And then it starts just getting into like a natural conversation instead of forcing it, which is what I think I was trying to do before. And that, like what you said about the relationship and everything, is like so important. And I'm getting that now. And it shows, like, it's actually, and it makes me feel good. Like, I've been asking some family members to join just the free group, some of my in-laws. And they've been saying forever how they want to, lose it, but they just didn't want to do anything about it. Anyways, long story short, this has been going on like a year. And they finally joined this group that we have now, this clean eating group. And they're actually participating, which I'm like super excited about, because not only are they just watching, they're actually like getting into it. So like just that alone makes me feel like awesome. Like I said to my husband, like, this is what feels great. It's not about, oh, well, how much did you make? It's not like that. I was just so excited they were in the free group. And so, I mean, that, like you said, with the relationship building, I just think that made that was a really good point.
You do. And to the thing, and I think I said it, but like, don't ever forget about those previous people. I mean, if they want to keep going, and I ask them, like, you coming in the next group? And they keep saying yes, fine. Keep bringing them in and continue talking to them like the first time you would talk to them. Reevaluate their goals. Reevaluate what type of program they're going to do. But you're exactly right. Like, when it becomes more of them and like the Success Club points and like how much money you're making, it comes together better. That is just what I've learned, because when I have focused on points and money, that's when then I get the ick feeling and like the burnt out feeling where I'm like, I'm not doing this for the right reasons. I did this to start helping others. and then make a living of this, you know? So you just can't give up on people. And like, for me, that is such a big thing, because for a lot of my life, a lot of people could have gave up on me, and they didn't, and they stuck by my side. And it's just like, you got to do that with challengers, because this is it's like the weight loss and feeling good. This is a difficult road for some people, and you just can't give up on them, you know? I mean, everyone's going to have their things where they fall off, but it's up to you to be like, you can do it. If you want to, join this month. Let's get you back on track, blah, blah, blah. Now, I will say, if I've messaged them like 3 times where they've completely fallen off the wagon, I stop. Because I will not continue to message somebody when it's like message, like all from you, and there's nothing back from them. Like I got the clue. But I will say 90% of the time they will come back. Because they'll come back and that's the whole thing. They'll say, I thought I could do it on my own, but I love the support and motivations of these groups, and I just got to get back into this.
Awesome. And it's so true. It's so true. I loved your emotional deposit part, like not just the Thanksgiving card. I mean, that's brilliant, but like really it is about that. You know, just checking in with them and asking them, even throughout the challenge group. Like I always ask people questions like, how are they doing? And I wanted to ask you, Courtney, what your 2 questions were again, but I'm always like, I'll be like, how's work? Because sometimes work affects people so much where they're like struggling with time, but they don't know how to say, I'm struggling with time. So you have to ask them how work is, or like their marriage or something, in order to understand why they're not showing up, or understand, you know, sometimes you got to dig really deep with people. And if they ignore you, whatever, they'll still appreciate that you're reaching out to them. So Courtney, what do you ask your people? You said like, what are you struggling with maybe, or what do you ask people like when you check in with them weekly?
Well, I always say YOLO, and I'm like, whatever week it is, because I do my challenge groups. I mean, my challenge groups it comes to 4 weeks, but the challenge groups, I only run 21-day challenge groups of all programs. So I'll be like, week 1, how are you? Like, what's going on this week? Any struggles?
Yeah.
Or any victories? Tell me what's up. I mean, and again, but that sounds like me. So it's just like, and they know it because too, I go live in my challenge group too. So they can see and hear me, and they get my mannerisms and verbiage down. So it's just one of those things. But yeah, any struggles or any victories that you have this week.
That's cool. Do you use the app at all, or do you see Facebook?
I just do Facebook. We do have an app group too, because our group is getting bigger, where some people do like the app. I like the app, but I just like it's like hard to do both. It's a lot to keep up with both, I think.
Mm-hmm. You know what else Courtney does, guys? This is a really good tip. And we did it in January. We didn't do it in February, which, sorry. But I got the idea of counting everybody's pounds and inches, like the entire group, from Courtney. So Courtney posts that on her social media every month. Like, she'll say how many people are in the group, and she'll say how much weight was lost and how many inches were lost. And like, that catches people's attention. Like every time she does it, I'm like, damn, that was a good group, Courtney. Like, you know, you're doing something right, which is really cool. So if you guys ever want to use that.
Yeah, sorry. And bribe them. I bribe them. No shame. And saying, hey man, I've done it since the person who loses the most amount of weight and person who loses the most amount of inches gets a gift, along with, in the past couple months, we have then now run, because my whole team runs one together, and then now we do weekly challenges. So there's many different ways of getting people active. Like, I'm doing a sweaty selfie challenge going on right now. It's so good. Like, some of these girls' faces I've never seen before in the group, because you have the lurkers who just like, they lurk. And then you say, hey, there's a gift. And then it's like, boom, they went in. But it's good because that gets them showing up every day and participating. And you know what that also then transitions into, because I had this aha moment. I was like, oh my God, all of these people can be coaches. Now with this sweaty selfie thing, like, you're already putting up these selfies. I'm not even kidding you, ladies. Like, some of these pictures, like, from the first day it started, it was like, and then now it's like, you can totally tell all of these women are getting into it. And that's how I was at first. Like, if I go back into my history bank, it's like my first photos were terrible. And now I don't even care. It's like I just throw it up and walk away from it. So
that's so true. I remember posting my first one and my coach being like, oh my God, you did your first sweaty selfie. And it was so hard. It was kind of like running away. I was like, oh, this is so awkward. I don't care. It's encouraged. That's so awesome. I loved all your tips, especially the Pinterest board. I'm not doing that. That's a great one because I have one. Why wouldn't I just share it with people? I'm like, oh, go on Pinterest. So
and two, on the top, real quick, on the top of our accountability group, we have a pinned post that kind of just breaks down the rules of the group. I don't know if you guys do this. I mean, I have my files in the group, but the pinned post, where if you ever throw somebody in a group, I don't know if you guys do it, but I throw people into the group mid-group and just explain to them what's going on. But at least everyone has that pinned post. And it talks about follow the coach's Pinterest boards. You post every day. Be accountable. What you put into this group is what you will get out of this group. So it just kind of breaks. There's like 6 instructions that's good. That way you can always refer people to that top post.
Awesome. That's a great idea. Because we do that in like our Beachbody coach groups. I never even thought to do that in challenge groups. Pro challenge group person over here. I dig it. This is a perfect example of why we were talking about this, why it's awesome to collaborate with like other coaches on other teams, because everyone is doing kind of the same thing. It's kind of like artists, like looking at like Beyonce, Taylor Swift, and Lady Gaga. Like, they're all artists, but they're doing something different. It's the same way as coaches. Just because you learn one thing one way doesn't mean it's the right way and doesn't mean it's the wrong way. It's nice to bounce ideas off each other. Now, Courtney's still technically in our team. Like, I'm, because she's related to Lindsay, so to speak. But look at how much different she is than us. Interesting. So, Courtney, I loved all your tips. And I think, like, just thinking back to, we wanted to talk about consistency. And I think this ties a lot into consistency, because you're talking about just being consistent with your people. And that's, as a relationship business, I think that's so important. I know she'll say the same, and anybody that's a top coach will say the same. And sometimes with the business side, you get so wrapped up in the business side, and you're like, the people, and I've done it, and I'll be the first to admit it, that I like kind of put that on the wayside. And I was like, oh, because I was so hungry to learn all this stuff. But that's the core of this business. That's what Carl Deichler will tell you. That's what you learn at Coach Summit. This business is about changing lives. And that's the way to get to it. It's incredible. There's nothing that offers this. To grow yourself while growing others, that is unparalleled to any job in the world. I mean, I'm 32. There is no job that inspires you to grow yourself first and then grow others. It's crazy. It's amazing, actually. It's actually amazing. I'm just going to share a little bit. Court, did you have anything else? I'm sorry. I get passionate.
The only other thing I had to say was, most importantly, like what Carl, as I say it too with my ladies, you help others while helping yourself. But in that, you have to have fun. And that's the whole thing. And that goes with the mindset. You've got to change it around, and you have to have fun with it, because if you're not having fun with it, they're going to pick up on it as well. And not want to be in that. I mean, people can pick up on it. So just have fun, be you. That's why I swear. I try not to swear on calls that are being recorded that could be seen with, I'll swear on my team call, but not Carly's. But just be you, and don't change that around, because once you start changing that around and not being your authentic self, people will pick up on that. Huge.
Yeah.
So that's all I got.
Even with like scripts, it's so funny because I remember one of my challengers saying once, like, I know that girl, and it doesn't sound like something she would say. So if there's something in a script that you're hootsuiting and you read it and you're like, I would not be like, well, bam, like, take it out. Put something that you would say in there, because your challengers are following you. And sometimes if you don't sound like yourself, it doesn't add up. It's weird. So that's a really good tip. I love it. Thank you. Rock. And so I'm just going to share something with you guys that really kind of runs into it. And I won't keep us on for long. It honestly doesn't take long, but I think it's a really great reminder. And it's something that I have added to our Getting Started Right coach welcome video that I've made. So I'll talk a little bit about that at the end, and then we can open it up for questions. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay. This is really, guys, what it is how the business, like the business side of coaching, is so similar to your fitness journey. Okay. Well, there's Ava. What's up, girl? Okay. How do I make this big? Do you guys know? Oh, present. Duh. I should know that. Okay. So I know this is blurry. I'm sorry. I took a screenshot and I transferred it from my phone, and that's what I was putting together. But the business and fitness, your fitness journey, are so parallel in so many ways. Okay. And it's kind of amazing. And it's something that I need to remind myself sometimes, because I always say, you guys probably hear me or see my posts, and it's like fitness is a journey. It's not a destination. And that's kind of like how the business is. There, when you get to a job, you sometimes realize, you work your way up the ladder, or you working towards a promotion. There is endless promotions within Beachbody. I mean, literally all you're doing, again, like Courtney and I were just saying, is growing yourself. And there's no limit on that. You can continue to do it, and you'll fall off and you'll get back on. It's endless promotions within yourself. So one thing you need to know about the fitness and the business is that it doesn't happen overnight. So a lot of the times I have coaches sign up with me, and they'll be like, I posted twice. No one liked my stuff. And no one's asking me what I'm doing. And I, whatever. That would be like showing up to a workout twice and expecting results. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't work out twice and expect to have a beach body, right? You have to track to see results. And what I mean by tracking is that when you're tracking results, you are doing that with your fitness journey, because you're measuring and you're taking before and after photos. And then you are, posting pictures. You're also tracking a lot of other things. You're meal prepping. You are learning a lot of new things. You're tracking, maybe your bra strap fits more. And that's the same thing with this business. So tracking would be something like using Teamsy, or trying a new social media outlet and seeing how it works for you, or, just counting how many people you're talking to in a day. Really, really simple, guys. The reason why I'm sharing this is because this business isn't meant to be complicated. It's meant to be simple. So when you're thinking about your fitness journey, try to relate that into your business. So it's success twofold. Like in your fitness journey, it's like the nutrition and then the workouts. So sometimes you have to talk to people and you're like, okay, well, I'm not seeing success. Well, maybe they're eating McDonald's still, but they're showing up to work out every day. Well, sometimes you got to talk to them and be like, hey, one's not matching with the other. That's the same thing with the business. So if you're talking about the business in private, you also have to talk about it publicly, because otherwise you're missing one side. It's kind of like fitness and nutrition. As soon as you stop results, you get further away. This is huge. So like when you take a break from anything, like if you take a break from working out, You start to feel soft. You start to lose your muscle. You start to get out of your routine. Same thing with the business. So that's why it's so important to be consistent like it is in your fitness journey. And I'm not saying perfection, guys, just like consistency. And even if you miss a workout, it's okay, because it's like life happens. You have to miss a day of business, but these are just kind of reality. Success looks different on everyone. So what I mean by that is like, if let's see, Courtney, how tall are you? Are you like 5? You're short. You're shorter than me.
5'4".
Okay, Courtney's 5'4". I'm 5'7". If I was like to be like, I want to look exactly like Courtney and I want her abs, I would be doing myself a disservice, because I'm never going to look like Courtney. Courtney and I don't have the same body type. That is the same way at this business. That is like comparing yourself to someone like Amanda. Amanda is single. She lives in the city. She works full time. She's travels all the time. And then you're at home with 2 kids and you have a full-time job, or you're not working, and you're wanting to be in the same place as Amanda or whoever. It's not parallel, guys. So you comparing yourself is doing a disservice. That's why you got to focus on you. Comparison is the theft of joy, really. And that's really kind of like a segue into that. So if you're comparing yourself to someone the entire time, you're no longer focused on yourself in your own journey. You start to become a carbon copy of somebody else. And it's a perfect example of what Courtney said, like, just have fun, make it sound like you, make it feel like you. You know, if you're in my challenge groups, and Sarah talked about this too, how she felt like she wasn't being herself. And I think it showed. She was frustrated by that. So, and you'll go through that. So don't think it's okay if you don't, but it's kind of like a lesson learned. And don't overcomplicate, guys. It's the same thing when you're helping somebody with starting their fitness journey. What's the first thing you talk to them about? You talk to them about their schedule, how they're going to fit in their workout, right? Because that's number one. But more importantly than that, you talk to them about meal prep. You talk to them about what they're eating. And you're starting to eliminate things out of their diet. It's the same thing as making sacrifices in your business. So if you're watching TV every night, you're going to have to cut that time out a little bit, and you're going to have to focus on your business. So there's so many parallels. And I could go on for days about this, but I would keep you guys on the phone for literally 2 hours. So I hope you understand that this business is very simple, and there's a lot of shiny objects. There are shiny objects everywhere. There's YouTube videos, there's trainings, there's FAQs, there's whatever. You need to remember that consistency doesn't mean you have to be perfect every single day. It just means showing up and perfecting that hustle. So what's your routine hustle? It's the vitals, guys. The vital behaviors are what is going to move your business forward, just like what's going to move your fitness forward is doing your workout, drinking your shake, 2 things that are vitals. You know, doing your meal prep, and just showing up in your accountability group. Fitness, nutrition, accountability. That's what we do. Same thing. Inviting, being a product of the product. I know all the vitals. I'm just saying, like, I hope you're getting what I'm throwing at you, because I don't want you guys to feel overwhelmed in this business. There's a million things. And if you can just relate it back to, hey, it's just like my fitness journey, and I'm going to have bad days, and I'm not going to get ripped abs overnight. It's going to make it easier for you to understand and not beat yourself up when you're not making paychecks like you want to, because it really takes the time to put in the work. You have to do the work to see the results. You want your body to change, you got to do the work. You want your business to change, you got to do the work. Simple as that. So I hope this helped you guys. I think probably some of you thought when it was consistency, you was going to show up and be like, this is what I do every day. But this is what I strive to do every day. Am I perfect? No. Is Courtney perfect? No. Because if we weren't, we'd be slapping each other's asses on the coach summit stage. Like, what? Hey, everybody. But we'll get there. And you guys will too. So that's all I really had there. Does anybody have any questions or anything as far as, I'm going to stop sharing. Questions on what Courtney said or what I said, or did this help you at all? Feel free to shoot out there. I know I'm a talker. No? You guys are like, I'm going to go to bed. No, I'm kidding. I hope it helped. And I just hope you guys took a lot from what Courtney said, because one thing that she's really like excels in is people skills. And that's something that can be taught. You know, it's just something that you kind of have to practice what you preach. If you're consistent with your challengers, you're going to see consistency in your business. If you remember that your business is not something that's this big thing that you made in your head, it can be that simple as long as you stick to it. So I encourage you guys again to get to know Courtney and her team. She's got some awesome leaders on her team. I know a lot of them reach out to me. I would encourage you to do the same, guys. I mean, I know I already said that, but if you see somebody else, even in like Lindsay's page or wherever you see a random, I have a lot of Beachbody coaches friends that I've made from like doing a size certification or just like connecting with them and being like, hey, what are you doing? You know, it really helps bring back the perspective. And Courtney is one of those people for me. Like, she brought back the perspective of like, we're here to change lives and stuff like that. So you'll get that. And how freaking cool is that? Talk about first world problems. We work with a bunch of women who are like crazy positive. That's something you cannot find. It's awesome.
Another thing too, I just wanted to let you guys know, I listened to that great call that Amanda did a couple days ago. And if you have not created your avatar, you have to. I started doing that within the past couple days, and it is a world of difference of what just happened on those posts, the traction that those 2 posts that I did. When you talk to that, like when you're talking to your specific niche market, it's amazing. So if you haven't done that, I strongly encourage to do it.
Tell them your avatar's name.
Oh, my avatar's name is Stevie, as in Stevie Nicks, because she's my favorite.
Awesome.
So have fun with your avatar too. Like, it doesn't have to be serious. You know what I mean? Have fun with it.
Hell yeah.
How did I know when you said Stevie? I knew who exactly you were going to refer to.
I did too. She texted. I was like, there's not many other Stevies out there. Like, that's awesome. I love it.
I was like, Matt, I'm not pregnant, but when I do get pregnant, I was like, Matt, if we have a girl, can we name her Stevie? He's like, Courtney, stop. I'm not like, no, I'm not naming our children after all of your rock goddesses. I was like, oh, you're boring.
My son was almost named David Gilmour after the guitarist of Pink Floyd.
Oh, I love it.
I didn't know that. I remember Henry. I don't remember I can see that.
Gilmour. His middle name was going to be Gilmore.
Oh my gosh.
Or his first name. And I was like, it's Henry.
That is awesome. Hey, no judgment here. I don't know. That'd be great. I'm sure people do that all the time. I mean, people name their kids North.
I know.
Northwest.
West.
I mean, really, like, anything goes these days, guys. It's crazy. I love it. Well, I hope, does anyone have any questions, like, in general about, you guys have anything for Courtney you might want to ask her, or anything going on right now that we can help you with?
Well, no, I thought it was really good. And actually, it's funny that it's Sarah, Amy, and myself on the.
I know, I was thinking that too.
I don't know if you guys want to share the idea. It aligns with everything we talked about.
You guys have a morning group, right?
Oh, Sarah, do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, Sarah. Talk about the post you're going to do.
Well, no, I haven't. I still haven't gotten still haven't done the posts like all together yet, because keep like adding and then like deleting. But Natalie brought up a point about doing like a pod group of, well, for like, because the added accountability of having like the group message, like in the morning or at night, like what time did you set your alarm? It just kind of brings not just like a stronger, like it just kicks your ass out of bed. You're like, okay, they're doing it. I'm not going to be the one just laying here like a lazy, And so it just gives you more motivation. And then plus two, it's like it's a deeper connection.
Mhm.
And so we were talking about, Natalie said to do it, it would be a good idea to do it with like a challenge group. So like we could have different pods, like if we only have a few challengers and say somebody else has like a couple challengers and we do it like a few coaches together, then, it's more personal. And then they won't get overwhelmed by, okay, there's 60 people in this group. So, and then we were also thinking of doing like a free one, basically sharing like that we get up in the morning, and like ask if there's anybody that wants to join, just like a free like clean eating group, but just
Awesome.
have whoever wants to do it. And then I think it would be more motivational for them to want to continue, like, oh wow, this is a great support system, so it'd be like on top of the groups and the challenge groups.
So we have a Facebook message group, the three of us, and at night we're like, "Did you set your alarm?" And then we remind each other because we needed that reminder. And then in the morning we wake each other up if you're not awake yet, and then we check in after we do the workout. And like during the day, even we become kind of like we know what's going on with each other. It's really cool.
You guys are so cute.
In our challenge group, we've been having this challenge the past couple months. It's called the Early Risers. And my coach, Sarah, put together a text message thread where she would send out a text message to who's ever on that thread. And then that's actually one of our challenges in the group is the Early Risers. That's a great idea. And like, if you guys incorporate that into your challenge too, people love it because it gets people also too to get their workout done early in the morning. Be done with it.
Cool.
It does. You know what's funny is my first 21-day fix group, I started from a clean eating group and I forgot about this and then went into the 21-day fix and I was on a text message with Sheila and then some other girl named Marnie, who is still a discount coach to this day. And all three of us were on a text message together. And this girl worked nights, so she would up at 4:30 in the morning and she would text me every morning. And it would be like 5:30. And it worked. And like that really solidified the community for me as a person, like just a challenger. And I signed up like Courtney with no questions asked 2 weeks later.
Right.
So
that's what we were thinking.
I love this idea, you guys. I think it's awesome. I love that you guys are doing it. I think it's great. I should probably get in on that.
But you said that before, and I've offered you.
Yeah, I didn't. I know I didn't answer you because I will next month. Honestly, it's this month. You have like, a baby. No, it's not even about the baby. Baby's no excuse. That's just an excuse. Honestly, I could get up. I told Mike that the other day. It's because I'm doing other work in the morning that's going to put our team forward. So anyways, but
you're still working out though. That's different. You mean like you're still making it happen?
Hell yeah. Gotta make it happen.
Yeah. Like for me, it's like, I realize that it's so much, it's so hard to do it at night, but if I do it in the morning, it will for sure happen.
Yeah, that's great. And
you have so much motivation. Like my house gets clean within like 2 hours, where otherwise like throughout the day I'm like, and just stuff doesn't happen. I just get so much energy from working out and I just feel fabulous. So my house sparkles. So it's a win for all.
You guys are awesome. That's amazing. I love it. And I'm interested to see how it goes for you and how you're going to promote it. And I love it. Good job.
Sarah, are you in the March challenge group? Sarah?
Which one? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So maybe we can think about
what is it called?
It's the spring break fitness some
Right,
shit.
yeah.
I don't know.
Oh yeah. No,
I don't even know. I
am.
named the group and I don't even know what it is right now.
Or
Whatever.
some shit.
So maybe we can figure out how to set it up for the group, 3 of us.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, definitely. I was gonna post earlier about about wanting to join us, like anybody who wanted to join us. But I couldn't quite like figure it out. So I wanted to make sure that it like sounded like real. It wasn't like a promotion for, the business kind of thing.
It's gonna come to you.
So I'm gonna
You're
do
gonna
it
be in the
morning.
shower and you're gonna be like, "That's it. That's what I should say."
That's what happened.
Where's my phone? I need to do this now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or else
exactly.
you forget. Or in the car, that's the worst because you're like, "Fuck, I can't
That's worse than like shower.
write." That's awesome. Well, you guys, I'm so proud of you. That's great, and I just appreciate you guys all getting on the call. I just want to thank Courtney. Thank you.
Thanks, Courtney.
Thanks for having me.
It was awesome.
I hope that information helped. But again, just be you. Shine from the inside out, and it just kind of all comes together.
Love it.
Agreed.
Good closing. Awesome, you guys. Well, thank you so much again for being here, and I hope you enjoyed the call. If there's anything we can help you with or answer questions, leave them in the comment section or reach out to, Courtney, myself, or even this little pod right here. Awesome. Hope you guys have a great night. Thank you again. Take care.
All right.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.
What'd you say, babe?
Well, it looks like that again.